G'day guys, welcome to my Orange Supplies feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL's Round 24's recap preview for 2021 guys. Let's get started. So starting off with this first game of that match, we see the Knights going up against the Titans. Now this game, 15 points to 14, absolutely smashing the Titans in this game. But no, it wasn't a smashing, it was only 1 point with the field goal. And this match was instrumental, but what I did like about this game was a pretty much good clash. I thought the Titans were going to win in this game, but then Mitchell Pearce kicking that field goal to make it 15 points to 14 in that game. Really good in that match. But what I did like about this game was really good energy by the Knights. I know they aren't really getting up to their game at the moment, but they are really trying to make the 8. And what I did like about this game was, like, it was really good but pretty tight match, and I literally thought the Titans were going to get over the line here, but what you expect, like, this game was just really totaled and not really benefit of the doubt. But this game was just a really good matchup, and what I did like about it was, like, the only thing about it is luckily I tipped the Knights because I wouldn't think that the Titans were going to win in this game, and I pretty much liked how the way the Knights played in that match and really, like, execute very well. And it's just how the way they played their game right. It was just really good defense by the Knights, and luckily I thought the Knights were going to lose, but then again the Knights won in this game, and it was just a really good matchup. And yeah, I have nothing much to say about the Knights. Yeah, but well done from the Knights for making a really good win against the Titans, 15 to 14 in that match. The next game of that match, we see the Warriors going up against the Raiders. Now 28 points to 16. The Raiders really done this game absolutely good, and the Raiders were just absolutely blowing across the park. And this game was just, I thought it wasn't going to be a really good match because usually the Warriors don't play very good. They do sit a couple downwards, but and I just thought about this match, it was just a really good game, and how the way they played their style of football was just absolutely detrimental. But in this match, I did really like how the way they played, and it was just absolutely really good. But luckily in this game, I would have thought that in this match it would have been really good, but then again it's just blown across the park, and the Raiders were just absolutely smashing the Warriors in this game, and I didn't think the Warriors were going to play very good. But yeah, 3 tries to like 6 or so. But what I did like about this game, how the way the Raiders played, were just absolutely good across the park. But they are a pretty good defensive team, and I do like the Raiders because they are a really good team. So, but what I like about the Warriors though is how the way they get over the line sometimes. But in this game, it wasn't really pleasant to see them losing this game against the Raiders. But luckily for them, they only got some points on, yes, but they didn't really win at all. So yeah, luckily for this, what a good game this turned out to be. A really good one. The next game of that match, we see the Roosters going up against the Rabbitohs. Now in this game, the Rabbitohs, okay, this one was a highlight of this game, but a very hard game this was. And technically, what I did like about this match was, like, how the way they played their style of football. And it was pretty good, this match, yes, but it wasn't really great to see that this game turned out to be a very shocking game. And ever since this happened, Latrell Mitchell put a big shot on Joseph Manu. Ever since that happened, now I would say they hate each other. But the Roosters were just very aggressive now, and now the way they played, it was just absolutely very brutal in this match. And what I didn't like was Trent Robinson sulking like in a press conference. He was just not very good at all. It was very disappointing. But yeah, 54-12 the scoreline was, and I didn't think that in this game it was going to be a very brutal match, but it obviously was. And thankfully, Joseph Manu didn't suffer a massive injury, but he only got a massive fractured cheekbone on this side, which that means he would be out for the remainder of the season. But since Latrell did that, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season too. So the Rabbitohs have just gone now, and so the Roosters. But what can you do really? 54 points to 12. This game was a very brutal match. The next game of this match, we see the Dragons going up against the Cowboys now. 38 points to 26 in this game was absolutely really good. And what I did like about this match was a pretty good standard finishing, but this game was pretty much a bad upset for the Cowboys to get over the line. Excuse me. But what I did like was how the way they played their style of game. They're pretty good, but not how I suspect the Dragons to lose this game. I literally thought that the Dragons were going to get over the line, but unfortunately though, the Cowboys, they got over the line, but only by a couple of points. And this game was pretty much a really bad finishing, and I didn't expect this to happen. But since the Cowboys are a really good team, they've got good decent players now, and they were struggling for a period of time, I would have thought that they're going to have a really good run. But at the moment, I just think that they are an average team to stand out into that finishing of the competition. But what I did like was the Dragons, how the way they played their style of game. They played really good. But this game wasn't going to be really excitement. But I literally thought the Dragons were going to get over the line as I expect. But I did tip the Dragons, but I did have that shocking discovery that the Cowboys were going to win in that game, and they obviously did. 38 points to 26 in this game was just absolutely appalling, and by the Dragons, they didn't really aim up in their defence and in their attack. I know they are a great team, but in this game, they didn't really play as good as they would expect, but they are missing a lot of players, so yeah, what can you expect really for this game? But anyway, this game was pretty much a really good match, but yeah, what can you do really? The next game of this match, we see the Sharks going up against the Broncos. Now in this game, 24 points to 16, absolutely really good match this was. But I didn't really think that in this game was going to be really exciting, but I would have thought in this match that it had that potential of a really good win, but yeah, what can you do really? And I thought the Broncos were going to really get over the line here, but it's just how the way they play their style of game was just absolutely excellent. And I would have thought in this match it's going to be a really good game. But how the way the Sharks played in that match was pretty tight, and I wasn't expecting a tight game, but the Sharks, they are the same thing as I said earlier, average team. And it's like saying the Cowboys and the Sharks, they are an average team together, combining that, and that would have been a very good match, but be a tight game. But then Sharks against Broncos, that match was just absolutely really good. and I did tip the Shark. Wait, no, sorry, I did tip the Broncos, but unfortunately the Sharks got over the line in this game, and that did surprise me a lot. And I would have thought that in this match it would have been very, very excruciating game, but a lot of excitement would have happened in that match. But since the Broncos aren't doing really well at the moment, I just think that they need to aim up in their defence and their attack if they want to beat some more teams. But since it's the last week's, no, since it's this week's final round, that's going to be pretty tight for them. But yeah, what can you do really? This game was basically 24-16. The next game of this match, we see the Storm going up against the Eels, my Parramatta Eels. I am legit so sorry about this, but I tipped the Melbourne Storm. And because last time we played against the Melbourne Storm, yes, we did lose, and we have a bad record against them. So that's why I had a bad feeling we were going to lose and we were going to get 50 points put onto us. And that was why I tipped the Melbourne Storm. But a couple of times, yes, we did win against the Melbourne Storm, but that's when they didn't have like Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster, Addo Carr, stuff like that. But that's how we won against the Melbourne Storm. I don't know how the hell we won against the Melbourne Storm when they had, like, we won against the Melbourne Storm, like, because we had, like, Josh Addo Carr, Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster, Ryan Papenhuyzen. I cannot believe that we won against the Melbourne Storm. With those type of players, we would have got flogged in this game. And I cannot believe it, that in this match was just absolutely very surprising game. And this game was basically important because we usually have a bad record against the Melbourne Storm, but luckily this game turned to another change, and luckily the Parramatta Eels stopped the 20 winning streak for the Melbourne Storm. But now, since it was 22 points to 10, I feel so lucky for the Eels to beat the Melbourne Storm, and that match was absolutely pretty much amazing game to watch anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Sea Eagles going up against the Bulldogs. Now, obviously in this match, as I did suspect that in this game would have been an easy clash anyway, because the Bulldogs, they aren't really good of a team at the moment. I know they put some points on, yes, but they're just not a very first-grade team in this season for this year's games. But luckily, I did tip Manly Sea Eagles because obviously this scoreline was 36 points to 18. Really top performance, and I would have thought in this match was just absolutely excruciating. But how the way they played against a good team was just absolutely excellent, and I would have thought that in this match was just absolutely to die for, because Tom Trbojevic, he played his style of form, and without no Tom Trbojevic, there's no Manly Sea Eagles, because you can't have a star player without a star player. So, in this game, since Tom Trbojevic scored 3 tries in this game, and Jason Saab only scored 1, I just cannot believe that Tom Trbojevic scored 3 tries in that match, because usually he doesn't really score, but he's just a smart player that really conceals Manly's concession of a really good win. But since Manly Sea Eagles have good star players, luckily I did tip them, But yeah, 36 points to 18 in that match. It was a really good game to beat the Bulldogs in that match. And finally, the next game of this match, we see the Panthers going up against the West Tigers now in this match. What I did like about this game was like how the way the Panthers played, and since Nathan Cleary scored his 1,000th goal for the season, congratulations to him. Credit to Nathan Cleary, he's just an absolutely wonderful player. Well, obviously because without him, there's no Penrith Panthers, and as I mentioned about Manly Sea Eagles, the Nathan Cleary, luckily, he played in this match, because otherwise, like, the Panthers wouldn't have been a full-strength team. And luckily, they are a full-strength team with, obviously, Nathan Cleary, because this scoreline was 30 points to 16 in this match. And I feel so sorry for the West Tigers, because last time they played against West Tigers at Leichhardt Oval, the Panthers got flogged in that game. And obviously, in that match, was just horrendous. And, like, in this game, that definitely changed the mark of that match. And that match would have been, like, really good game. But luckily, the Tigers obviously lost, because I did tip the Panthers in that game. But what I did really like about that match was how the way Jerome Luai played, Brian To'o played, Nathan Cleary played, and yeah, so on and so on. But yeah, I just thought this game would have been a really good match, and obviously was, because they obviously beaten the West Tigers in that match. So yeah, that game was 30 points to 16, and a very good match in that game. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care, guys. Stay safe, and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 300 subscribers. We're sitting on 216 anyway, so let's get up to that, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.